Welcome back here on TSL. Today we record on Monday, November 28th from Blacksburg. Giovanni Heater joined alongside Kyle Marchak with you. And now we dive into a little bit of Virginia Tech women's basketball talk here. Kyle, the Hokies have been on an absolute tear. They are 6-0 on the season. They went 2-0 in the Bahamas with emphatic wins over both Kentucky and Missouri. They just blew Longwood right out of Castle Coliseum last night with an 89-28 victory. They play Nebraska on Thursday in the women's edition of the ACC Big Ten Challenge, and then they play at Tennessee on Sunday. I know both Carter and yourself are going to be going on the road over to Knoxville to call that game for 3304 Sports, so big stuff there. Enjoy that. But how about this women's basketball team, man? They are just locked and loaded, and they look very impressive.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited. They've given themselves a really, really strong non-conference schedule. They're up at 9th now in the AP poll, and Nebraska should be a good matchup, but I'm obviously very, very pumped for Knoxville. Tennessee is a really historically successful program. Now, right now, they've had kind of a weaker start to the season, but I think considering the fact that they're going to have a packed house, especially because Tennessee is struggling, their fans are so invested. They're ready for that, kind of big emphatic win that's going to propel them back into the picture because they were predicted for second in the SEC standings. So I think their fans are ready. 18,000 strong, I guarantee it. I'm really hyped for Knoxville.
I want to go ahead and touch on this real quick. I think that this move from the Big Ten Challenge to the ACC SEC Challenge is going to be really good for the Tech women's basketball program going forward, because they're probably going to play teams like, I don't know exactly what it is with the current home and away scheduling. The Tennessee played at Tech in Blacksburg last year. Now Virginia Tech is on the road in Knoxville. Curious to see how that continues to shake out. But regardless, they're going to play teams in the SEC like Tennessee. How about the defending national champion, number one team in the country, South Carolina Gamecocks, and even a team like LSU? Like, there is a lot of talent at the top of the ACC and the SEC, and I feel like Virginia Tech is finally now taking that next step and showing that they can play with the big dogs and that they're ready to play a team like a South Carolina and go on the road and play a Tennessee. So unlike on the men's side where you might be playing some middle of the pack SEC teams until you kind of continue to make that jump, I think the women's side is already there and is going to be playing some of the teams at the top.
I really believe that if Virginia Tech enters ACC play still undefeated, there's a high possibility they've actually propelled themselves into a legitimate echelon of being considered a national championship contender. You and I were talking about at the beginning of the season, the way that they had a disappointing finish with that loss to FGCU in the first round.
Yeah.
But the way that they were ranked all season, they competed against the top talent, and they found themselves in the NCAA tournament. They were at the top of the ACC, and now they get this really strong non-conference schedule. If they remain undefeated, considering the way they've started, the way they've added talent to the roster, they've become legitimate contenders. It's really, really exciting to watch. I mean, like I said, they head to Knoxville. They have that chip on their shoulder after a 6-point loss in Blacksburg with Tennessee in town last year. And I'm really excited to see, again, with that talent they have, Kitley getting her first real test, because Tamari Key is their 6'6" center over at Tennessee. That's going to be the first girl she's faced all year that is the same size, if not larger than her in the paint. So I'm really, really pumped for that. If they pull through, again, Tennessee, a struggling program early in the season, but if they pull through with an emphatic win after that, I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, Virginia Tech looking for Ulshin against Tennessee. Last time they played in Blacksburg a year ago, the 11th ranked Lady Volunteers took down Virginia Tech 64-58 in what was a thriller, and it was a closer game really than that score goes ahead and represents. Well, some more news there. Elizabeth Kitley hit the 1,500 points milestone on Wednesday in the Bahamas against Missouri. 1,500 points for Liz Kitley. She is 8th all-time in program history for scoring. Kitley dropped a combined 42 points and 23 rebounds with 5 blocks in the Bahamas. She had 23 points and 14 rebounds last night against Longwood. She's averaging a double-double with 19.7 points a game and 11.5 rebounds. You can't say enough about Liz Kitley. Looking like the defending ACC player of the year for sure.
Yeah, 100%. At that position, she's obviously an upperclassman now, but at 6'6", when you recruit a girl at the center position, people who are 6'6" coming into college really struggle to fill in. And these past 2 years, her athleticism has developed so well. The coaching staff for the women's basketball team, alongside Brooks and stuff, unbelievable how they develop their talent, and they really make them physically mature. And she is the strongest I've ever seen. Her athleticism is off the charts. She's cleaning the glass better than ever. Her finish and her touching ability on the inside is unbelievable. Like, she just has that touch. She can shoot from the mid-range. So fun to watch. It's unbelievable how good she is right now.
Maybe a little bit of a surprise to many. Kiana Traylor is the second leading scorer on the team, 12.5 points per game. She's also averaging 5.5 rebounds, which is also second most on the team in that category. Ashley Owusu, the transfer from Maryland, the All-American, 11.8 points a game. Georgia Amore, 11.5 points a game. Kayla King, 10.7 points a game. So you got 5 players averaging double figures. And then Taylor Souls right behind her with 9.7, almost averaging double figures. So, I mean, anybody can score. Plain and simple. We knew that, but they're putting on a show and displaying that.
There is literally every facet of a scorer that you could think of in basketball. You have the taller players who can slash the inside, the center who has the touch. You have Kayla King who can slice through the defense, and she can shoot the lights out too. And then you have girls like Owusu who are just the big body guards. They can go in and dribble into the paint and get a good finish, distribute the ball. Literally every type of basketball player you want offensively, Virginia Tech has produced. It's unbelievable how they've developed talent and different styles and skill sets that all mesh together. That's the most impressive part. Like, usually when you get a transfer like Owusu, you question where she's going to kind of fall into a team that distributes the ball and shoots the lights out, because she's a guard who can body her way in and distribute the ball a little bit. She doesn't have super elite three-point shooting, although she can shoot the lights out too. And they still managed to find a way for her to fit in, and all the other transfers they brought in. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then you got Kayla King, who's kind of your spot-up three-point shooter, right?
Yeah.
She's your catch-and-shoot kind of girl that's working off the ball, and then she gets it and knocks it down from beyond the arc. We saw that in the season opener. All right, well, that's going to wrap things up for our women's basketball coverage here. Like we said, against Nebraska on Thursday, and then on the road in Knoxville against Tennessee on Sunday. So some really big games coming up for the women's basketball team before they touch into ACC play a little bit in the early ACC section. One last bit of news here before we go on to preview Virginia Tech in Minnesota tonight. D'Angelo Hall of Virginia Tech football to be inducted into the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame. The ceremony will take place this spring. He played for the Hokies from 01 to 03 and had a 15-year career in the NFL. Plain and simple, one of the best Hokies out there. He's from the 757 in Chesapeake. So again, just he has those Virginia roots. He played his college ball here. He played a long time for the Washington Redskins at the time, now the Commanders. So he's just instilled in the Virginia football community, and D'Angelo Hall, one of the best, going to be honored in the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame. TSL Today on a Monday continues after this.